This is CBC Here and Now.
I'm filing these claims to try and give others hope, support, and justice for Sky. Those we care about, the addicted, mentally ill, forgotten.
A mother's grief and search for answers. Sky Martin's mother says her daughter's death in prison won't be in vain. Why she's filing a lawsuit against the province.
It's coming up on 7 weeks since Placentia Town workers hit the picket line, but both sides are back to the table. That story coming up on Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes. A grieving mother is speaking out tonight about the loss of her daughter and her fight for justice. Natasha Martin has been on a fact-finding mission for 16 months, ever since her daughter Sky Martin died in a Clarenville jail last year. Here and Now's Ariana Kelland was speaking with her today. So Ariana, what is Natasha Martin saying?
Well, Carolyn, Natasha Martin wants to be a voice for her daughter. Sky Martin was one of 4 inmates who died within a year period in provincial correctional facilities. That all sparked a government-issued review, but for Natasha Martin, that's not enough. So she's suing the province, she's suing the prison psychiatrist, and the superintendent of prisons. This is why.
I'm filing these claims to try and give others hope, support, and justice for Sky. Those we care about, the addicted, mentally ill, are forgotten. Each day I long to hear Sky's voice, to feel her arms hugging me. Today I'm going to give her a voice by using mine. There's kindness in this world. Sky saw the kindness in this world. I felt it so much throughout these past 16 months. Thank you for that. I do hope that change will come. Love, Sky, Summer, our family, and myself, Natasha. Thank you.
And now that Natasha Martin has filed that lawsuit, she says she feels that she can move forward with her life, and that includes becoming a parent to her granddaughter. Carolyn?
Thanks, Ariana. That's Here Now's Ariana Kelland live in the newsroom. Spoke about her daughter's condition before her death and what she wants to change. We'll come back to this story and bring you more of that powerful interview in 25 minutes. Workers with the town of Placentia have been on the picket line for 7 weeks this summer, but today they were hoping for good news. But as Here Now's Ryan Cook reports, things did not go their way.
It's coming up on 7 weeks since Placentia Town workers went on strike, but they hope they're inching closer to a deal, and they've put in what they say is their final offer to the town. Despite having their deal in the mayor's hands, the workers held a rally outside the town hall this morning with other unions. Mayor Bernie Power made a brief appearance, driving by in his truck. He didn't stop by, but we did manage to get him by phone.
It's kind of ironic because they're final offers, and every time they're saying final offers, and they keep jumping all over the place. So, I don't know what their final offer really would be.
So is this offer going to be one that's accepted?
No, the offer is not accepted.
And so the strike continues for these arena attendants, clerks, and maintenance workers, much to their chagrin.
Well, we're extremely disappointed, like I said, I cannot give you any details about what is happening here this morning. We thought that what we gave them yesterday, we thought that was a very fair offer for what we had given up.
The mayor says the workers had years of unparalleled wage increases and the taxpayers have had enough. The workers want 2% increases in the last 2 years of a 4-year deal. It's the only thing they still differ on. In a small town, the ongoing strike is a little awkward, and it's about to get worse.
You know, they got the events planned here next week with an Irish group coming. We will disrupt it, and that's the only alternative we have. That's the only leverage that we can do. We're going to ramp it up. We're going to make some noise, and hopefully we'll get something resolved in the end. And we want to get back to work.
Monday will be the start of the 7th week, with both sides still ramping up the rhetoric. Ryan Cook, CBC News, Placentia.
Police in Grand Falls, Windsor say they've arrested 2 people for breaking into churches. A 20-year-old man from Grand Falls, Windsor is accused of breaking into the Salvation Army Church on August 1st. And a 39-year-old man from Bonavista is charged in connection with an attempted break-in yesterday in the United Church. There were 6 break-ins at churches and church halls in the past few weeks. Well, the sister of missing canoeist Luke Cooper has filed a complaint against the RCMP in Sheshatshiu, claiming the police force is mishandling the investigation into the case. Sheila Cooper says the family has tried repeatedly to provide tips to the RCMP regarding her brother's disappearance a year ago, but she claims the family is continuously brushed aside. Cooper filed a complaint with the Civilian Review and Complaints Commission for the RCMP. And there's more tonight on the controversy over government's failure to meet a deadline for wetland capping at the Muskrat Falls hydro site. Andrew Parsons says Nalcor should have done more to keep him in the loop. Parsons was Environment Minister for 6 months while government was planning to cap the vegetation to keep methyl mercury from seeping into the water. That planning continued even after Nalcor told government the deadline to do the work had passed. Now, the opposition wants the Auditor General to investigate how the deadline was missed. But Parsons says anyone who wants to blame environment officials, including him, are looking in the wrong direction.
Never had a single call, email, or letter from anybody at Nalcor or anywhere else saying, the deadline is approaching, you need to continue working, or making a decision. That never came. The big thing for me is I'm certainly not going to be blaming the staff at Municipal Affairs and Environment. Like, they're good, hard-working people. My head tends to go to the people that wanted this permit and wanted to do the work and were responsible for all of this. The fact is that I never heard anything in August, September, October, never heard a single thing. And all of a sudden there's a deadline passed that nobody seemed to know about. I think people should probably concentrate a little more on that.
What a difference 24 hours can make. That heat and humidity has returned to at least the island. Temperatures sitting at 25 degrees this afternoon for St. John's, 23 for Deer Lake, and then holding on to those cooler temperatures up through Labrador again, barely reaching the double digits for most of you. And we talked yesterday about that big temperature change, 10 degrees less yesterday, 10 degrees more today. So certainly seeing all of that humidity, and we are seeing some rain that's moving through right now as well through parts of the west coast as well as the Bayfort Peninsula. Some of that lightning action is moving offshore now, but we are looking at the risk of some thunderstorms as we head through the next couple of hours again tonight. But a cool down is on the way, so don't get used to this humidity, and it does look like things will clear out as we head towards the end of the weekend, but I'll have all those details coming up.
A union manager has been fired and other officers have been internally charged as the investigation into IBEW Local 2330 continues. Electrical workers with the local have long suspected staff members were abusing funds. According to the union's national office, allegations have been supported by an overwhelming amount of evidence. Here Now's Katie Breen has the story. So Katie, what are some of these claims?
Well, there have been allegations of embezzlement and other unauthorized spending. IBEW Canada sent out a letter to members this week that lists some of the evidence it's gotten so far. According to the document, a business manager's salary increased more than 70% in 5 years without approval from union members. And employees were apparently double dipping on vacation pay, taking time off, but also being paid out an extra 13% holiday pay, sometimes even more. Members were frustrated. They suspected all this. They wanted to look at the books and find out where their union dues were going. Last summer, some protested, trying to get answers. A bunch of them ran for executive positions with the local to try and oust people they felt were abusing the system. James Martin was one of them. he was elected treasurer. Now all of the people voted in have been suspended while IBEW Canada investigates, but Martin kept copies of all the checks he had access to before the trusteeship.
Okay, Katie, so what did he find?
Well, in 6 years, he says close to $2 million was given out in personal reimbursement checks to a number of staff members. That's on top of salaries. And he says staff spent another $345,000 on cabs. According to the IBEW letter shared with members, there's proof former Local 2330 President Anne Guillen took a ton of taxis from her house to the union's Holyrood headquarters while getting a monthly car allowance. The document also says Guillen's sisters was given a substantial unauthorized severance when she left her position with the union. How much was it? Well, Martin provided us with a copy of a $30,000 check made out to Guillen's sister. And he says members approved none of it. The former union president didn't answer our calls this week.
Okay, so what happened to the former president, Anne Guillen?
Well, IBEW Canada says she no longer works for the union. A former business manager from Local 2330 has been fired, and there are a number of current and former union officers facing internal union charges and possible union discipline. IBEW Canada says it's hired an accounting firm to do a forensic audit, but union members are frustrated by the pace. They want it to go quicker. They want more transparency, because they say there are even more allegations the national office isn't addressing. Carolyn?
Thanks, Katie. That's Here and Now's Katie Breen reporting. In other news, a Carbonear man is wanted on 3 warrants after he fled from police while being arrested earlier this week. Mercer is charged with a string of offenses, including assault with a weapon and animal cruelty. Officers tried to arrest him in a home on Tuesday, but he got away. Anyone with information is asked to call the Harbour Grace RCMP. Well, the City of St. John's is inching closer to a revamped paid parking system. The tender has been awarded for a new cashless parking system that's designed to put an end to vandalism that has cost City Hall and taxpayers millions of dollars. Here and Now, Cease Hare reports.
Managing paid parking in the City of St. John's is a full-time job, and it's hoped that this new plan will bring an end to the meter madness.
It's estimated the city is out almost $3 million in lost revenue from the meters and tickets and the cost of repairs. Nearly all of the city's 1,200 meters have been damaged. A cashless system was tested on Harbor Drive. And pay by phone, some people complained, didn't work because you couldn't park without a phone. But the pilot was deemed a success, and a $2.5 million tender was awarded for cashless meters and cashless pay stations.
When this comes in, you'll even be able to tap with your phone. I mean, and you can use you literally use your phone. You can use your credit cards, you can use your debit cards. I mean, it will be multi-faceted for people.
I don't understand why it's taking the city so long to come up with a system that every other city in this world has in place, and for some reason we can't do it. So, this new boxes and kiosks is long overdue.
Most of the tourists that come in are a little confused about what the rules are and how to park, and the fact that they're broken meters and so forth. So there's some confusion there.
Kelly Mansell owns and operates a Rocket Bakery on Water Street. She says the headless meters have become a nuisance and agrees the overhaul is needed.
It would be great to have an app, which they use in other cities, and it's super. I've tried it. I love it. I never have change.
And when the new system is in place, the pay-by-phone app will be citywide. In the first year, all meters and pay stations will be cashless. Then council will review it and decide whether to stick with that. Cease Hare, CBC News, St. John's.
The fact that they continued to do this for so many years without really any knowledge by the regiment, I think it's incredibly important that we acknowledge that on our side of the ocean.
The Royal Newfoundland Regiment pays tribute to school children from England who have been tending to the World War I era graves of Newfoundlanders. Later in the show, they're new to Newfoundland and new to summer camp. We'll talk to children from all over the world about what it was like to spend their summer days at camp in St. John's. That's still to come. Welcome back. Well, Ashley, it feels like we're on a temperature seesaw. It's like up and down, up and down.
That's a good way of saying it, changing it up from roller coaster. I feel like that is used a lot, but I like that, temperature seesaw. Certainly are.
Yeah.
If you stepped outside at all today, it was hot and muggy, rainy for some parts of the Avalon. We'll take a look at the temperatures though. Quite warm, like I said, 25 degrees in St. John's, 27 in Badger. Cooler, but not by much down along the south coast. And then still hanging on to those cool temperatures for Labrador, 11 degrees in Lab City today. Topping out at that same temperature for Happy Valley, Goose Bay as well. But yes, the big story really is that humidity. At one point this afternoon, it felt like 33 degrees with that 33 with the Humidex, 28 in Deer Lake. So certainly a little bit of a different story from what we saw yesterday. Those temperatures still sitting pretty similar, 25 degrees in St. John's, 25 in Gander as well, and Corner Brook currently sitting at 22 degrees. Now these temperatures aren't going to last long, unfortunately, because as we head through the night tonight, we are looking at those winds shifting. So, but before that happens, with this humidity, we are seeing some lightning, and that is making its way just offshore right now. Could hear a few rumbles of thunder in and around Twillingate and potentially even Fogo Island over the next, I'd say, 20 minutes. And then that should move offshore. But the other cell that I'm watching is this one here. As it heads towards Gander, we could see some lightning strikes with that as well over the next, I'd say, hour or two. And then all of that should move offshore for the northeast coast. But we are going to see some of that heavy rain make its way towards the southeast coast of Labrador and then the northern peninsula as well. So periods of rain expected as we head through the overnight tonight, clearing from Lab West towards central by the early morning hours, but still hanging on to the rain, drizzle, and fog for the southeast coast. So temperatures not really going to move too much as far as up through St. Anthony goes, only seeing a low near 8 degrees tonight. Otherwise, in the teens, 15 degrees for St. John's, 11 for Corner Brook. There's that wind shift I was talking about. So southwesterlies to northerlies, and that's going to drop the temperature by tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we're looking at westerlies for the Avalon, with 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. So the winds are going to stay quite gusty tonight. And temperatures dipping 4 degrees for Lab City tonight under clear skies, calm winds, 4 for Nain as well, and then 6 degrees for Cartwright with that chance of showers through the overnight. So as far as tomorrow goes, it does look like it will stay cloudy for the island. Best chance of seeing that sun peek out will be for the southwestern portion and the south coast into the afternoon. Otherwise, it does look like it will be a gray day with some drizzle and potentially some showers as well. And then we'll see clearing skies into Sunday morning. So that's certainly good news, but those temperatures are going to drop. And again, we can think that northerly wind, 30 to 50 kilometers per hour in the teens through the day. These are actually your morning highs. They're going to dip for the Avalon, sitting around 11 to 13 degrees for central, and then a little warmer on the west coast, but still in those teen temperatures. 12 for St. Anthony, Cartwright sitting at 9. And then we've got those temperatures a little better up through Labrador as we start to see that ridge of high pressure dominate with some sunshine. And it does look like Sunday will improve, but I'll have all those details coming up. Carolyn?
Thanks, Ashley. For close to 2 decades, students at Beatrix Potter School in London, England, have been tending the graves of Newfoundlanders who died in World War I. Today, the Newfoundland Regiment honored those school children by dedicating a room at the Canadian Forces Base in St. John's. Take a look.
I think it speaks to remembrance, it speaks to the commemoration. It speaks to all those things that we owe to the soldiers who fought so many years ago, but also to the soldiers who fight today. Remembrance is something I think that has to be a living concept. It has to be a living idea. And I think what the school does in England speaks volumes about how important it is to remember what soldiers did so many years ago and continue to do. And the fact that it's being done by school-age children, I think that's a lesson for us all. We in Newfoundland, we tend to think that we're very good at remembrance. We're very good at remembering all those things that happened so many years ago. But I think in this instance, it's such a valuable lesson for us to learn from people who up until now really didn't know much about Newfoundland, and we really didn't know much about what the school was doing. The fact that they continued to do this for so many years without really any knowledge by the regiment, I think it's incredibly important that we acknowledge that on our side of the ocean.
For me, remembrance is important. It's important to many people in England, and this just it's a continuation. And the fact that, you know, if my children come over here when they're older and they can go to the Beatrix Potter room will be something extra special. What they've done is being recognised. That's really important to kids. You know, they've done something that's different to a lot of other kids. And I think, you know, that reaction of we didn't realise has gone throughout the school. When Carl came over and we got the plaque, the look on the kids' faces, the excitement about it was indescribable.
We have a prison system that's not equipped to deal with the complex mental health and addiction issues of today's society.
More from Natasha Martin, the mother of Sky Martin, who died in jail last year. Why she's suing the province and the prison psychiatrist. Welcome back. Let's return to our top story. Natasha Martin has filed a lawsuit against the province, the head of prisons, and the prison psychiatrist. Her daughter, Sky Martin, died while incarcerated in the women's prison in Clarenville in April 2018. Martin is taking aim at those she believes are responsible and wants to ensure protections for those inmates left behind. Here's Natasha Martin speaking today with Here and Now's Ariana Kelland.
Can you tell us a little bit about Sky? Because so much of what we see and what the public sees would be Sky, who was serving time in Clarenville. But of course, she was a mom. She was your daughter. What do you want people to know about Sky?
Sky. I named her well. I named her well. I had her when I was young, and she was something else. And she stayed that way throughout her life. Sky loved life, loved people, saw the good in everybody, you know. She was always at something, right? And you know, I did a parenting course one time, and you had to draw a picture of an animal that, you know, you thought about. You thought about your child. I drew a unicorn. Yeah.
Why is it that you decided to come forward with the lawsuit now?
Why now? Now is the time. I've spent the last 16 months looking for answers.
Do you have all the answers now that you want?
No, I don't have them all. I will never get them all. But I do know what went wrong. What I've learned speaks to a system that is broken. We have a prison system that's not equipped to deal with the complex mental health and addiction issues of today's society. I will never get the answer to why me, why my daughter. Sky was in the Waterford. Sky has a diagnosis of bipolar and ADHD. And a team was put in place to come up with appropriate treatment plan and medication for Sky. Sky left the Waterford with that treatment plan and medication. She went to Clarenville. He took my daughter off her medication, made the decision himself, did not consult anybody. Sky's mental health deteriorated significantly in the weeks leading up to her death. Her mental health decreased in line with her medication that was decreased. Our prisons are not equipped to deal with the complex mental health issues. My story is different because Sky actually died in the prison. But there's so many other stories out there. You know, we've been years talking about, and there's been reports, there's been advocates, there's been politicians, there's been lawyers, there's been family and friends that have all carried this conversation throughout the years. I want to thank them for that. And I'd like to join them now. That's where my healing will be, is to see these changes being made. And I can tell Sky, I go up to the grave and Hi, Sky, Mom again. This is what we're doing today, you know. I can tell, Sky, you helped. I had to lose you to help change the system. And maybe then I'll be okay with that. Maybe then I can, you know, truly say, I did my best, my baby. I did my best.
Well, going to summer camp is a highlight of the summer for many children, but for new Canadians, it's not always an option. Money is often tight, and their English is still a work in progress. But none of that matters at the summer camp put on by the Association for New Canadians. Well, today was the last day for their camp, so I stopped by to see what they learned.
Our school system closes in the month of June, so July and August, if anybody, the newcomer children or newcomer families, when they come in this period of time, they don't have any way or any chance to get integrated mostly in the society or community. They will be stuck in their home because of the school being closed for 2 months. So this is the wonderful opportunity that we give to our children to make some new friends. Regardless of where you are from, you're coming together, learning English in the same time, and also having some fun.
You feel that you aren't only the different person that like he is at school or stuff. You feel like there are another people that are like you.
The monetary, it's financially stressed for lots of families not being able to afford for the programs. So the ANC gives this service for free, and the transportation won't be any challenging also in the meantime, because the parents go to language school where they are learning language themselves, and also having their children placed into the safe place where they know that at the end of the day their children are safe and secure.
I play soccer and I make a lot of friends.
Do you really enjoy soccer?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy about soccer?
playing as a team, and I make a lot of friends at soccer.
It's a good experience. I'm here as a volunteer, and it's my first year working, and it feels good. And meeting all the kids, like, it's good.
Why did you want to volunteer?
Because I want to try it and see how, because when I came first to Canada, I was like them. I came to this summer camp, and I had people who helped, so I was here to help them.
What sort of things have you been helping them with?
Translate, like I speak Arabic, and so half of them speak Arabic, and I speak good English, so I translate.
The children, when they first come, they would be like, good morning, good afternoon. We would tease that, and from there now they would come and hand over the thank you card to you, which is like, wow, you know, like actually things are working and we are doing something good for these children.
I learned like we're all the same from each country. We're all the same, and it's hard to learn new language, but if you practice, you got this.
Our heart is really like, we feel so thankful that we are at least doing something that's bringing change into these children's life. Down the road, they might forget, but this is, you know, we are the first person who have influenced them in the better way and given them that trust where, you know, not every people are bad around the world. We are so good people, we are there to help you, and feelings, of course, we are all sad that this is the last day. However, you know, like there are more things outside in the community where you guys had to offer.
I'm gonna miss my friends. Yeah, but I'm gonna see them. They will come, they'll visit me sometimes, I'll go to their house sometimes. Everything will do.
Now, Tilak Chawan, who you heard there earlier, who's running the camp, he knows what the kids are going through. It was only a few years ago that he actually came to this province as a refugee, which is one of the reasons that he really enjoys helping the children go through that same challenges of getting to know their new province. Carolyn?
Thanks, Peter. Well, the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, baseball is a staple of summer, and some players in Sherwood Park near Edmonton are taking it to the extremes. They're out to play the longest game ever. But as Travis McEwen found out, it's about more than just getting into the record books.
It looks like any game of baseball. But this one doesn't end after 9 innings and a few hours. It continues for 4 days. 56 players taking 4 to 6 hour shifts of baseball with hopes their bodies hold up to break the current world record.
Not sure my body will agree with me on Sunday, but right now it's great.
This is no doubt a fun baseball game, but for a lot of the players, they're here because it's personal. Their lives have been touched by cancer in some way, and some have even lost loved ones to the disease.
My bats are actually named after certain people, so it's it is a deep game. It's just not, you know, it is a bunch of great guys, great camaraderie, but it does have a different meaning for all of us. We all have different stories of how this game plays out.
My wife died of cancer, and my father died of cancer, and countless aunts and uncles, and so unfortunately it's pretty ingrained in my family, and just trying to do something to help fix this thing.
The game is raising donations for research at the University of Alberta's Cross Cancer Institute. Through previous hockey and baseball games, close to $5 million has been raised.
The machines that we purchased over the years have treated all cancers and saved thousands of lives already.
Hopefully it can alleviate a lot of families' future problems so they don't have to go through kind of what I did with my father.
The game is expected to continue until Sunday evening. In this field, there's not just a dream for people to come, but to cure cancer for people to experience moments like this. Travis McEwen, CBC News, Sherwood Park.
Welcome back, everyone. So it's Friday.
It is
Or
Friday.
Fry-yay. I like to call it Fry-yay.
It is, and a warm start to the weekend, but as I mentioned a little bit earlier, that's not going to last very long. But we'll get to the forecast in a little bit. I just wanted to mention the potential that we could see our first tropical storm.
Interesting.
We'll take a look at the map. There's an area of low pressure just off of Miami right now that has a 70% chance of development in the next 48 hours to become the potential for a tropical cyclone. And if it does, this could be impacting our weather as we head into late next week. So certainly early, but it is something to pay attention to as we head through the next couple of days through the weekend and into late next week. So we'll talk about the rainfall, or at least showers through the day tomorrow. Those temperatures will be a lot cooler as well to kick off the weekend. 17 degrees in St. John's. That will be the morning high. The temperatures are actually going to drop as we head into the afternoon. Similar for most of the Avalon. You can see those temperatures already as your daytime highs through Central. 11 degrees for Grand Falls, Windsor. And then along the west coast, a little bit warmer, so mid-teens. But again, that potential for some showers, and then the best chance to see that sunshine will be for the southwest and along the south coast as well through the day. Now, as a ridge of high pressure starts to dominate, that is the story for Lab West and then towards Central with plenty of sunshine. Those temperatures are going to be in the teens, though, with those northwesterly winds, somewhere between 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. And as that system starts to, or the ridge of high pressure moves in and dominates through the day on Sunday, it does look like we're in for the rest of the weekend looking quite lovely, actually. And those temperatures, as we head into Monday as well, with this ridge of high pressure dominating, it looks like it's going to continue through most of next week, for some areas anyway. Here's a look at your temperatures heading into Sunday. Temperatures are going to start to recover. 21 degrees for Corner Brook, 22 for Grand Falls, Windsor, and then sitting around 17 degrees for St. John's. Otherwise, back into the 20s for Lab City. Plenty of sunshine. Nain even going to see your temperatures climbing to about 18 degrees for your Sunday. So here's a look at the next couple of days. We are going to see this warm up, but back down a little bit below seasonal for Tuesday and Wednesday. This is a little bit up in the air at this point, but still have that chance of showers in there with between 16 and 18 degrees for the beginning of next week. Here is your forecast for central Newfoundland. 23 degrees for Tuesday, Monday looking nice as well, and then Wednesday is that best chance of that potential for some showers. Western Newfoundland, 15 degrees tomorrow, then we climb right back up into the 20s, and that will round out at least the middle of next week. And look at that, sunshine and nothing but for Eastern Labrador. By the time Monday rolls around, back into the mid to high 20s. A little bit of a humidity, but you won't really notice too much. Western Labrador, beautiful stretch of weather. So that's a look at your forecast. I will have your weather photo coming up. Carolyn?
Thanks, Ashley. Turning now to international news, wildfires raging through the Amazon are being called an international crisis, and pressure is mounting on world leaders to act. French President Emmanuel Macron was the first to speak out. Leaders of Canada, Britain, and Germany followed suit, all recognizing the severity of the fires. But Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro is pushing back, blaming the fires on conservationists and telling other leaders to mind their own business. Wildfires in the Amazon are not uncommon during this season, but experts found an 84% increase over last year. The fires have now been added to the agenda of the G7 summit this weekend in Paris. Shareholders at Air Transat have approved Air Canada's $720 million takeover offer. Nearly 95% of votes cast were in favor of the $18 a share bid from Air Canada. The deal will be scrutinized by the Competition Bureau and other regulatory authorities. Air Canada's takeover narrows the field of competition, giving Air Canada about 60% of Canada's transatlantic market.
I want to know where you're to, but this photo is a little bit different, more of a viewer pick than a weather photo. I'll tell you where this photo was taken when we come back.
Welcome back to Here and Now, and welcome back, Peter.
Thank you. What was once the largest coal-fired power plant in the world is now a pile of rubble.
It took just seconds to flatten the old Nanticoke generating station. It produced electricity for Ontario's hydro utility for more than 40 years.
At its peak capacity, it generated enough power to light up the city, well, the size of Toronto. Exactly, Toronto. The plant was decommissioned in 2013, and its giant smokestacks were demolished earlier last year. The Nanticoke plant was the biggest greenhouse gas polluter in Canada. It's now the site of a 44-megawatt solar generator.
All right, Peter, so it's Friday, and that means...
Birthdays and anniversaries. Let's take a look at some of the people celebrating this week.
Congratulations to Edward and Dorothy Druken of Shea Heights, who celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary yesterday. Happy anniversary to Vera and Calvin Barnes from Foxtrap, who celebrated 60 years together on August 20th. Happy anniversary to Harold and Evelyn Carberry of Burgoyne's Cove. They celebrated their 55th anniversary on August 11th. Congratulations to Dick and Mary Roach from Chamberlains, who are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary today. Happy 50th anniversary as well to Edward and Dorothy Delaney of Bay Roberts. They celebrated yesterday.
Happy 61st anniversary greetings to Bram and Lucy Oldford of Gambo. Their anniversary was last Sunday. Larry and Geraldine Martin celebrated their 50th anniversary yesterday. Larry's from Stephenville and Geraldine is from Torbay, but now they live in Brampton, Ontario. Happy anniversary to Joan and Reg Parsons. They're celebrating 59 years of marriage. Congratulations to Donald and Helen Gowdy of Conception Bay South. Their 60th anniversary is tomorrow. Happy 51st anniversary to Melvin and Elizabeth Kelly of Trinity East.
Birthday greetings to Doris Snow of St. John's, who's celebrating her 90th birthday on August 27th. Happy birthday to Mary Coleman, who turned 90 on August 20th. Happy 91st birthday to Melita Spencer of Corner Brook. Her birthday was on Wednesday. Birthday greetings to Eric Martin, who will turn 90 this Sunday. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Harold and Isabel Lang of Carbonear, who celebrated on August 18th.
Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Herman and Kathleen Tuttle of Shearstown. Happy 60th wedding anniversary to Gerald and Flora Deering of Bridgeport. 50th anniversary greetings today for Kevin and Carolyn Lane from Botwood. Happy anniversary to Wade and Linda Parsons of Gander, who celebrated their 50th yesterday. Bill and Pearl Jenkins from Summerford also had their 50th anniversary yesterday. Congratulations.
Wishing Nellie Chalk a happy 97th birthday on August 27th. She's from Buckins and now lives in Old Perlican. Happy 91st birthday this Sunday to Bill Rose in Grand Bank. Happy 92nd birthday to Mary Malloy of Torres Cove. She celebrates this Sunday. Birthday greetings to Daphne Blackwood of Grand Falls, Windsor, who will turn 90 on Sunday. Birthday wishes to Effie Jewer of Grand Falls, Windsor, who turned 102 yesterday.
Congratulations. Happy 93rd birthday to Louisa Pike of Charleston, who celebrated yesterday. Happy birthday greetings going out to Gladys Dowden of Greens Pond, who will be celebrating her 101st birthday this Sunday. Happy 6th wedding anniversary, for Herbert and Linda Vincent of Corner Brook. Happy 65th wedding anniversary today to Freeman and Beatrice Pennell.
Happy 60th wedding anniversary to Frank and Winifred Bishop of Cupids. Congratulations to Bonnie and Llewellyn Kosh of Lewisport, who celebrated their 50th yesterday. Happy 55th wedding anniversary to Harvey and Valma Burton of Hants Harbor. Happy 50th wedding anniversary today to Angela and Bill Crowley from Mount Pearl. Happy 57th anniversary greetings to Larry and Harriet Lane of Glovertown. They celebrated yesterday.
Happy 62nd wedding anniversary to Raymond and Gladys Payne of Stephenville. Raymond is also celebrating his 85th birthday, so happy birthday as well. Elva Hutchings is celebrating her 100th birthday this Sunday. Her hometown is Cowhead, but she now lives in Corner Brook. Another milestone birthday, happy 100th to Gertrude Troke of St. Chad's, now living in Gander. Best wishes to Ivy and Roy Welsh of Islington, who celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary yesterday. It's also a 50th wedding anniversary for Gordon and Florence James of Upper Island Cove. They celebrated yesterday.
Congratulations to Pearl and Don Burton of Fortune, who recently celebrated their 67th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to Roy and Verna Edison of Roddickton, who celebrated their 53rd anniversary earlier this week. Happy 64th anniversary today to Beatrice and Ralph Coombs of Head of Beta Spear. Happy anniversary to Patrick and Patricia Chafe. They will celebrate 51 years of marriage tomorrow. Happy golden anniversary to Joe and Hilda Keating from Marystown. They'll be married 50 years this Sunday.
Happy 51st wedding anniversary to John and Kathy Hewitt in Grand Falls, Windsor. They're celebrating tomorrow. Happy 65th wedding anniversary to Curtis and Naomi Mitchellmore of Green Island Cove. They celebrate this Sunday. Happy 51st wedding anniversary to Wesley and Beulah Gowdy of Glover's Harbor. Congratulations.
Another fine crowd.
Absolutely, and not a bad weekend to be celebrating all sorts of birthdays and anniversaries.
That's right. But we are going to talk about our weather photo today. We'll take a look at that. And this was you called it Wild Iris. And
Gorgeous.
It was beautiful. And it was taken actually at Cape Spear.
Oh,
and
nice.
It was, she mentioned that it was pointing east as well. So
Okay.
the iris is pointing east to Cape Spear. Is that a thing? I don't know. But Eileen Bartlett sent us that photo. Thank you so much for sending that in. And if you have any weather photos you'd like to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Was looking out towards Ireland, you know,
There you
next
go.
stop.
Gorgeous shot. I love the pitcher plants too.
Yes.
I was looking at pitcher plants on a hike recently, and just gorgeous.
They
I
are.
love those wild plants.
Yeah, and this is the time of year where you get a lot of those flowers. You know, it's nice warm weather and flowers want to take advantage of it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I hope you take advantage of the weekend and enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for watching.
Have a good night.
Good night.